Afternoon, everybody. Today we shall continue our discussion on little bit further on an example with visual information. So we will not go into detail of that, but just little bit we'll go through.
Sir, your voice is a bit low.
Yes.
Yes, and now your voice is okay.
Okay. So last day we were discussing about mutual information conditional entropy. That comes into picture because of channel coding. So channel coding, the basic concept why mutual information is coming is that we have basically transmitting the bit streams here, 1-0 patterns. Though they may not be exactly going as the voltage waveform like this, they may go in a different manner, but from binary information channel point of view, they are a bit 0 pattern. And other side, because of the noise, we are having something like this. So now, obviously, there is a finite probability that one may not be detected as one. And so this is supposed to be 1. This is supposed to be 0. So depending on the noise level, actually, if we determine a threshold, so then there is a finite probability that if the signal to noise strength, that is with respect to that square wave and this noise which is getting introduced through the medium due to various factors. That factors could be some external interference, that factors could be due to the inherent noise generated by the electronic devices, because as you know that everything which is at a finite temperature above 0 will produce certain noise power. So that way there will be noise, and therefore there will be a finite probability, because ultimately whatever level is here indicating 0, so we have to put a threshold. Now due to this noise level, usually at the detector site, this will be passed through certain kind of detector. If it's a simple detector, we will have a rectifier diode and a filter. So then it will be smoothen up, and then we will put a threshold. Okay. So that way we will that threshold will determine whether below that threshold is 0 and above that threshold will be 1. But if the noise strength vary, and simultaneously we may not be able to vary that threshold all the time, so therefore there will be a finite probability that one may detect it as 0 and vice versa. So therefore in this case, of course, there are only 2 symbols that we are propagating here. Like when we have the general case, we have here capital J number of symbols, okay, and here capital K number of symbols. That is the output side, we have capital K number of symbols, input side capital J number of symbols. Now because that these are interfering with each other, so therefore when we are trying to export the information of X0 from input side to the output side, that information will be deciphered, attributed to not only Y0, which is intended, but also in Y1, and there will be a finite probability that even with the last symbol, that is Yk, that also will be affected. Because as I said, that in physical cases, the channel is often the physical channel, that is the propagation channel, is often itself is modeled as a low pass filter. So whether you apply at the detector any low pass filter, means basically it will smoothen the waveforms. And because of this smoothing nature, the ultimate waveforms will be something like this. And then we have to put a suitable threshold here. But depending on the levels of noise, this level may become sometimes above the threshold. So if I filter it, then it may becomes like that. So this is the physical characteristic. So which we will discuss a little bit afterwards. And also because the channel is always modeled as a filter, so we will see later that generally it is limited by its band. Now, ideally when we have an ideal transition, okay, so that means this is an instant, zero instant it is rising. All right. So this zero instant rising phenomena cannot be represented by any physical device. So in any case, if we want to have a switch, the switch will have always a rise time. And due to that rise time, so therefore there will be a slope involved, whatever minimum that is. And depending on that, we have to put a threshold somewhere at the output level. So apart from that physical nature of the channel, there would be external interferences. So these two together will give rise to mix up of the symbols. So that means basically the information of any X is being exported to any of the Y's. Now, what will be the reverse side? The reverse side is that at the output, I do not know any X. So when I am detecting any Y at a time instant, so here it is starting from Y0, X0, Y0. But in an arbitrary time, I have certain symbol. So it could be any symbol. So now I am trying to detect that symbol sitting at the output. So at the output receiver side, I have a detector. So that may be a filter and threshold in the simplest case. Maybe in a digital case, there could be some other kind of detector, like we shall discuss a little bit later. So that could be a digital filter or digital detection kind of algorithms will be there. So whatever it is, there will be a detector which will detect what is this symbol. So in this particular case, there are only two symbols, 0 and 1. But in general case, there could be, say, any Y is getting detected. Now, based on in this Y, so there would be, when I am interpreting that what could be the input to corresponding to this detection, then it so happens that all the symbols informations will have some overlapping section with the detection of a particular Yj. So that means there is a joint probability of a symbol Xj with a symbol Yk of detection. Okay. So in this particular case, our binary cases, of course, it is one can be detected as with a finite probability of 0, or one can be detected as 1, and detected means at the output side it will be detected like that. So that is represented simply in the binary case by this. So in the binary case, we are representing the situation through an error probability. So error probability means because we are interpreting P as an error probability, okay. So so therefore 0 is detected as 1 with a probability P, and 0 is detected with 0 with a probability of 1 minus P. Okay. Similarly, 1 is because it is symmetric, and we are assuming that it will be unbiased with respect to the detection of 0 and 1 at the output corresponding to the input symbols. So there is no bias. So therefore, 1 is also will have a same probability. That is an assumption that will be detected as 0 with P. It may not be actually. In general cases, it could be say P1, 0, and this could be P0, 1. Okay. So, but generally we assume that this in case of binary symmetric channel, that 0 is having the error probability P to be detected as 1, and 1 has a error probability of P to be detected as 0. And subsequently there is 1 minus P and 1 minus P. So now, therefore, this detection problem can be transported to the entropy. Okay, so the entropy is next is we have seen that what is entropy? Entropy is the mean probability of the mean information. Okay, so probability of finding that alphabet. Now, because we have now two sides and interaction of two symbols, so this concept of conditional probability comes into picture. So the probability of X that is being found, so conditional probability, maybe we can write again somewhere. It can be thought of that how much extra information that the input side need to give on average to communicate to the output side such that the output side Y detect X. So output Y trying to at the output is Y, input is X. Now the conditional entropy also can be okay. So maybe I will write further here.
So could you repeat the meaning of conditional entropy?
Yes, I am writing. So the conditional entropy gives the figure or indicates the amount of information or extra information, because it is conditioned. Y is detection of Y is conditioned by X. So maybe that's why we can use the term extra information. Needed on average, because entropy is a mean measure. So on average, to communicate to the output side, that is detecting or detecting Y such that the output side know X. So that this is like conditional entropy of Y. Given X. So that is as is given by the as last day we have written, that is given by this. So all the sets of X and all the sets of Y the joint probability of Pxy log of the conditional probability of Y with respect to a particular X. So, and then it is summed over all X. So now this P.
So should not it be log of 1 by P?
Okay, yeah, there is a minus here. Okay. So that otherwise is log of 1 by Px.
Okay, sir.
So P this Y with respect to X is again can be written as Pxy or Pyx. We are assuming Pyx equal to Pxy. Divided by Px. So we will take simple example of computing this. Let us take one example. Suppose we are taking a simple example like occurrence of some letters. This side is consonant and the other side is vowel. So basically we are taking the joint probability of consonant and vowels, but alphabet wise, like just say only 3 cross 3. Then we have Pxy. Pxy joint, this one is suppose 116. This is also 116. This is 0. So then the total probability of having P is 116 plus 116. That is 18. Similarly, say 40, we have 3 by 8, 316, 316. So the total will be 3 by 4. Similarly, here we have 116, 0, 116. So this is 1 by 8. Here we can sum these row wise and get the probability of vowel occurrence. So that is 1/8 plus 3/8 half. This is 1/4. This is 1/4. So basically X is consonant and Y is vowel. So we can compute the individual entropy, like say if I want any letter it is given, so that entropy of course directly that is there. But suppose I want to compute each vowel, that is simply would be given by the px, py. So that is half log 2. That is half of log 1 by half plus 1/4 log 4 plus 1/4 log
So
4.
this meaning, could you repeat, sir? Like h of something, entropy of something. What is the like?
No, h of vowel. So basically this variable, the vowels are having this probability. So hy basically.
How much information do we get on average if a vowel happens?
Yes, yes. This is like the probability of occurrence of vowel, half. Probability of occurrence of I, vowel I is 1/4, vowel U is 1/4. So therefore we are doing summations over all vowels. Okay.
The formula is clear. So like the meaning that way. So
No, meaning this is probability of occurrence. So total probability of occurrence of any vowel will be the total probability. So that of course if we sum these two, that will be equal to 1 actually. But the entropy computation is based on the probability of individual occurrences. So that's why we are computing the individual occurrence of A, individual occurrence of I. So over the, because these are the vowel symbols, these are given in the table. So for, of course, generally it is done for all the 5 vowels and all other 21 consonants. But suppose this is a small table like this, then if you want to compute, so of the vowels, it will be, in case there are only 3, so we will have half 1 by p log 1 by p, sum over that. Okay, sum of all y's, that is summation of py 1 by py. So that way we will get the vowels. So like that, of course, entropy for consonants can also be done. We can also compute the conditional probability. Say suppose PA conditioned by P, probability of A conditioned by P. So that will be the joint probability of PAP divided by P. So PAP is 1 by 60 and PP is this total probability This is the probability of occurrence of P, all the summation of on this column wise, that is 1 by 8. So this way we can compute the condition probability. So all condition probabilities can be computed like this. Next, suppose we want to now HXY. So H vowel consonant like YX, I think. If we do H vowel consonant, so that will be equal to, say, we have to compute all those. I think we may not. Let us skip it. 116 by 18, the first term, okay? Because we have to do, this is over vowels. And then sigma consonant. Sorry. Log of P of vowel consonant. So like that, so first term we have 116, log of 116, that is P of vowel consonant, that is AP. Okay, so 1 by 1.
So
And
there should be a minus sign, right?
Yes, this is minus. Now, yes, this will be minus. So like that, we have to carry out plus say 38 log of 38 by 34. Plus 116 log of 116 by 18, then 116 again, log of 116 by 18, plus 316 log of 316 by 34 plus 0 plus 0 plus 316 log of 316 by 34 plus 116 log of 116 by 18. I think that's all. So this gives 11 by 8.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if in the formula of hxy is equal to double summation pxy log px given y, sir,
Yes.
if in this formula we open the px given by as xy upon px, and then we take the log a by b as log a minus log b, and then make the two terms, then will we get the formula of information like hx minus hx given by?
No, no. This is entropy. This is entropy. We have got the entropy now.
Yes.
Now information will be information is given here. Ixy equal to hx minus hxy. So therefore that will be h vowel minus h vowel cons. So this is h vowel was 3432, and this is minus 11 by 8. So this is 1 by 8. So in this particular case, this is 1 by 8 bits. Calculation may be wrong, but it can be done in this fashion. So this is also you can compute because here also we have these probabilities of vowel and comma consonant is equal to probability consonant comma vowel. So therefore this will come the same thing if we do it other way also. So essentially this way we can compute, but usually in case of say binary channels, how do we determine the mutual information? The mutual information will be done by transmitting a bit stream, okay, and adding a random noise. So usually in the simulation, this noise has to be replaced by a simulated random noise. So there we will generate a bit stream, we will generate a random noise, and we will determine certain signal to strength noise ratio, and at that ratio we will scale both the things. And then at the detector we have a detection algorithm, and then we detect the 1-0 pattern, and then we match it and find that how many we have missed for a large number of maybe few million bits if we simulate and over certain thing. So then we will be able to estimate that what kind of mutual information that is being shared by this channel. I think with this introduction, we shall stop about mutual information, and we shall come back to it when we will discuss about maybe detection performance later. Now we will come back to different kind of channel codings. So what is the concept of linear block code? In case of, while we have seen here that there is a possibility that the two consecutive differential pattern by missed. So therefore, one ready answer to this is that we will basically replicate the pattern again and again such that they are not missed. So that means instead of, suppose simplest thing would be, say, instead of transmitting one once, we may transmit the one twice. That means repetitive coding. So that way, that would be the simplest thing to do. However, there are a lot of problems out of that. So generally, that is not followed, but that could be the simplest thing, such that we can improve the probability of detection or reduce the error probability. So in effect, there is something called a channel coding theorem. So this is based on certain assumption that those assumptions are like it is memoryless channel, that is there is no correlation between these two consecutive symbols. However, in practice that is not true because the channel is a kind of filter. So therefore it mixes the adjacent symbol. So there is a correlation on the output side. So that, however, it is normally assumed that there is no such thing, all are randomly occurring symbols. So channel coding theorem states that if a discrete memoryless channel has capacity C, and a source C is determined from that mutual information in terms of bits. Now, if C is completely utilized by the current symbols, then all the noise, what will do, it will basically distort the symbol, and we have no other way to impart any extra informations. So therefore, it first say that if a discrete memoryless channel has capacity C and the source generated information at a rate less than C, then only replication is possible. Basically, we have to reduce our bit rate. In other way, we will put extra burden to this original information.
Sir, if all the bits are occupied by the source generated information, then what will be the problem?
Yes.
Sir, if the source generated information is like equal to the capacity C, then what problem will there?
Then any error will basically mix up and we have no other way to separate the error. We can separate the error by extracting some extra information from at the output. But that extra information we won't be able to add because the capacity limit of the channel has been reached. I was telling that concept that we can repeat that once again, but suppose the channel is highest rate is 1 Mbps and we are using 1 Mbps, and then how extra bit can be used? So that cannot be used. So 1 extra bit used means it has to be reduced, say half Mbps. Then only I can add for every bit, I can repeat it. So that way, I mean, if that is a drastic step, but then if it is at least required that a source generated information at a rate less than C, then only then there exists a coding technique such that the output of the source may be transmitted over the channel arbitrarily with arbitrarily low probability So this of course gives a qualitative statement. This is a qualitative statement. So it says that if the our source information is less than C, we can impart some extra information to make the transmitted information resilient enough against noise such that detector can detect in the output on the output side can detect the symbol correctly. Now it says that there can be any method. One method, of course, can be there that we can detect it with arbitrarily low probability of symbol error. So that means almost we can correctly detect, provided this condition is there. So what would be the method? So that is, of course, depends on the method, but there is possible one method, the possibility of existence of that method. On the other way, if it does not satisfy, so that means if it is greater than or equal to C, that is source information on the other hand, if source emitted information that is in bits per symbol exceeds or equal
As in the end, you had given the notation for capacity, but the qualitative meaning is not clear.
Okay. So equal to if source emitted information exceeds or equal to capacity C. Then there will be always an error irrespective of the coding method. So the capacity C is given here. We have defined the channel capacity as the maximum of the mutual information. This is the channel. So that means corresponding to all probable occurrence of X input symbols. For all probable occurrences of input symbols, if we estimate the mutual information in bits per second, so that gives the channel capacity. Okay, so therefore estimation is rather difficult in case of if the symbol number is large. However, in case of binary cases, because there are only two symbols, 0 binary symmetric channel, there are two symbols, 0 and 1. So we know that 0 and 1 can have maximum entropy when they are equiprobable, and that can happen when both are equal to 0.5. So that gives the probability.
So we wrote channel capacity as maximum of Ix comma Y and P in PXI. This is like what? Like is it multiplied or?
No, this is maximum of IXY corresponding to for all PXI. Okay.
But like when you calculated it for a binary channel, so it was.
So we have to find, this is not multiplication. We have to find that which in the IXY is maximum. We have to find for all combination of input symbols. Okay. That can happen. What is the estimate of IXY? And that will give the channel capacity. Theoretically, it can be determined if we have theoretical relation of this probability. So then only we can theoretically compute. Like say for binary symmetric channel, if we have estimated this one, where is that? This is P. Now, if P is known, then only we can compute the channel probability. So P has to be known by transmitting. So if we have a channel model, then P has to be first estimated. Then only we will be able to determine that what capacity, what is the channel capacity. And similarly for arbitrary number of symbols, therefore all such P's need to be considered, and corresponding to all those combinations of input symbols of X and their probabilities, whichever results into the maximum mutual information, that gives the channel capacity. Okay, because basically this is the worst case condition. Maximizing the mutual information means what? Means basically distributing your information to everywhere. Okay. So therefore, that is the worst case determination, that maximizing this IXY. will give the channel capacity. Now, in case of binary channels, because there are two symbols and their entropy will be maximum when they are equiprobable, and so that is equal to half. So therefore, this transition probability, when it is half, that will be maximum, and correspondingly we will have the channel capacity. Say for binary channel, like if we plot channel capacity for binary symmetric channel. So this side maybe the probability P, that is error probability. Error probability P, and this side will be, say, capacity C. So of course, if it is 0, then it is 1, maximum capacity. So if noise, there is no error probability, there is no noise, of course we don't need any error coding. So always 1 will be detected as 1, 0 will be detected as 0. So there is no question. Now this one, when they have maximized maximum entropy, when 0.5 conditional entropy, so that time the capacity is 0. Somewhere in between we have a 3 dB bandwidth. I think we shall come back to this capacity in terms of, I just started the word bandwidth, but we have not discussed it. We shall come back later about in terms of bandwidth, how we interpret channel capacity. But let us forget about bandwidth, just error probability. Say for binary, this is for binary symmetric channel. So the capacity C varies depending on the error probability. Okay. So we first need to estimate the channel error probability P, and correspondingly we will be able to determine C. So in theoretically, this therefore this is done over all probabilities. So that's why this curve we need to first estimate P. Otherwise, in case of many input symbols, we need to find out that what is the variation of mutual information. So that will be determined.
Sir, for binary symmetric channel, is it written I into P or?
No, it is not I into P. This is IXY, the two brackets are there. This is for PXY. For all PXI. Okay. And this capacity, this one, see, IXY is equal to Px0 equal to Px1, that is the maximum probability condition. Maximum entropy, not probability, maximum entropy condition. Corresponding to equiprobable. Equiprobable states of 0 and 1. Okay. Then that can be error, then that can be again written as like this. There is some proof is there that I have skipped.
Sir, when both error occurring probability is half, in that case we are getting C as 0. So, like, what is the physical significance of this thing?
No, physical significance is that the maximum entropy that time basically we have reached the maximum entropy conditions of the medium of the channel. Okay, because that it has become equiprobability, that is the maximum entropy that has been achieved, and we have seen that information representation is limited by the entropy, and if we reach the maximum entropy condition, no more information can be imported. So that way we will have capacity is 0 in that case.
So can we say this way that like if all the symbols are equiprobable, then we cannot send any information. The channel has no ability to send information.
Yes, yes, we cannot give any meaningful information. Okay, I think let us, we will explain, this will, again, we will explain when we will come linear block code and computation. Afterwards, we will come to detector performance. So that time again, we will come back to this. When we will discuss about physical channel, this ASK modulation, etc. Again, we will come back. Now let us go to our discussion. We are discussing about channel coding and linear block coding. So therefore, we can say that if the code rate, in other words, I think in other words, if the code rate in bits per second, in bits per symbol, or just let us take it just R. Less than channel capacity C, then it is possible to find a code that achieves error-free transmission.
So what does rate mean? Like with respect to what? Rate.
The
We are
rate
saying
is
the code rate is R, but the
R
rate
means R bits.
okay.
This will be usually in bits, okay, or it can be anything. So that's why I mean, if we take log2, then it will be bits. If we take other indices, it could be anything. So code rate means basically, say we are that many symbols we are transmitting. I think next day probably we will discuss that. So the concept of linear block code is that we have, suppose, certain number of symbols are given or information bits are given. Then we add some extra bits and find out how to add them and what will be the pattern that will be added. I think we shall continue it tomorrow. So basic concept that of linear block code means we will have basically say n number of codes, of which there will be some are offering message and some are codes. Those are added to achieve a detection performance. So some extra bits will be added. That is the basic concept. However, what will be the condition of those bits, or how we will add those bits? So that depends. There are certain rules out there.